Hello everyone. In our last video we were discussing about the nervous system chapter of the 10th class. So in this video we are going to continue with that. In this video we will discuss about the brain part and its sub parts of the brain. So let us begin on that topic. Firstly, in the last video we were discussing about the major divisions of the nervous system, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system, as I told you, central nervous system consists of two parts, brain and the spinal cord. And if we talk about the peripheral nervous system in the last one I told you that is consists of a bundle of nerves. That bundle of nerves are dividing into two type. First is somatic nervous system and the second one is autonomic nervous system. Somatic means voluntary and the autonomic means involuntary. Involuntary activities means that activities are not working according to our will, means that are not under our control. And if we talk about the voluntary activities are those activities that are under our control. For example, the movement of our hands, legs, as well as the usage of our mouth. I gave you this example number of times in the class too. So next one we are going to discuss about the brain. Brain is a you can say that it is a type of a brain box. It is also known as a cranium as well as a brain box. It is consisting of a type of a bony structure that is known as a cranium as well as the brain box. This one you can see in the model. Okay, brain box having a three type of outer coverings that are, first is dura mater, second one arachnoid, and the third one is pia mater. These coverings are known as the meninges. So three outer coverings of a brain consist of three outer coverings that are known as the meninges, and these three outer coverings are dura mater, arachnoid, and the pia mater. Dura mater is the outermost covering, and this is a fibrous in nature, protecting our brain from the external injuries. Inner one or the middle one is known as the arachnoid. It is act as a cushion for the brain. Cushion is protecting us from the other mechanical injuries. Suppose that somebody hit us with the force, then what is happening? The cushion, if we are using the cushion will protect us from that mechanical shock, from that intensity of the power. Like that, arachnoid layer protects our brain from the external injuries. Next one is the pia mater. This is the innermost layer. So this is the innermost layer, and it is rich of the blood because that is totally attached with the brain part. So it is rich of the blood and is the innermost layer. So hope you understood about the three layers or the three outer coverings of the brain. Next thing, one term is there, ganglia. Ganglia is the aggregates of the nerve cells, means the cell bodies, from which the nerve fibers may arise or enter into, means the nerve fibers arising from it as well as entering to it, that point of contact is known as the ganglia, and that is of the nerve bodies, means the cell bodies. Next we are going to discuss about the parts of the brain. There are the three parts of the brain. Parts of brain. Brain consists of three parts: cerebellum, and third one is the medulla oblongata. In the 8th standard too we had discussed about it, but in this chapter we will discuss it in the more detail. So first is the cerebrum part. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it is dividing into two hemispheres. Cerebrum part, you can see here, this is the structure of the brain, and this part is known as the cerebrum part. This is the largest part of the brain. This is having the two hemispheres, left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The cerebrum part consists of the number of convolutions as well as it is dividing from the center, and by that way it is dividing. Now in the cerebrum part, the highly convoluted part, this is the highly convoluted part, and each cerebrum hemisphere is hollow internally. From the internal side it is hollow and having the two regions. An outer region is known as the cortex region and the inner one is known as the medulla region. Outer part is the cortex part and inner one is the medulla part of the cerebrum part. The outer portion of the cerebrum contains the cell body of the nervous system and grayish in the color. Outer one is containing which part of the of our nerve cell? The cell body only. Okay, so that's why the color, the matter that is present in the outer part of our brain is grayish in color. It gives the grayish appearance due to the presence of the cell body, and inner one contains the axon, so that's why that is the white in color. So it is containing the white matter and the outer one is containing the grayish matter or the gray matter. As well as the convolutions having the grooves and the folds are known as in the cerebrum part the grooves are present like it. Okay, so the outer one, the convolutions are known as the gyri, as well as the lower ones means that convolutions, the grooves of that convolutions are known as the sulci. So grooves are known as the sulci and this one is known as the gyri and sulci. Next one is the, it is believed that the higher number of convolutions in the human brain due to the large number of brain cells, hence the greater intelligence. Means the larger number of convolutions the cerebrum part is having, the person will be more intelligent because they are containing large number of nerve cells in that. Here I have given you the example in the 8th standard too. Suppose that the more the barriers are there in the path of a person, the more is the chances to break there, means to hold there. Like that way the convolutions are present and these convolutions are responsible to hold the nerve cells in that. So by that way the number of the convolutions are more in the cerebrum part, there will be the chances of the more nerve cells in that. Next one, there in the sheet of the fiber, means a hard sheet of a fiber is present in the brain part. That hard sheet is known as the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum, I'll show you from here. These are the parts and here this type of sheet is present, that is known as the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum is the hard body and it is the sheet of connecting the two central cerebral hemispheres. Its function is to transfer the information from the one hemisphere to the other one. It is the point of connection between the two hemispheres, corpus callosum. The question is coming in the exams too, what is the function of corpus callosum? Its function is to send the information from the one hemisphere to the other one. So this is all about the cerebrum part of the brain. The cerebrum part is known as the intelligence sheet too, because it is responsible for the intelligence of the person as well as the memory for learning the new actions. So it is known as the intelligence sheet. It is the largest part containing the number of grooves as well as the two type of matter, white matter and the gray matter, and in this one the cerebro fluid is present, cerebrospinal fluid is present. That fluid, that liquid part is giving the responsible to hold the cell bodies in that, in hold the nerve cells in that. So by that way the cerebrum works, as well as these were the parts of the cerebrum part. Next one we are going to discuss about the cerebrum part. Cerebrum part is the little brain. It is known as the little brain because it is present just below the cerebrum part, and the cerebrum part is responsible to maintain our balance and posture. It is maintaining the balance and posture. And if we talk about the drunkard person, here one question is coming in the exams that if a person is drunk, then why that person is not able to walk properly, as well as he is not having the control on his body. Why so? Because in that way the cerebrum part is totally affected in that sense, because cerebrum part is responsible for maintaining our balance and posture. And when the person is drunkard, in that way the cerebrum is not able to behave properly. By that way the person is not able to speak properly, as well as is not able to show its balance and posture properly. Cerebrum part is containing not like a cerebrum part. In the cerebrum part number of convolutions are present, but in the cerebrum part the type of a pattern is present like a tree trunk. You have seen that that pattern is present in the tree. Okay, like that way the the veins and the pattern is present in the cerebrum part of the brain. Cerebellum part is also having an outer part that is known as a cortex and is of having gray matter, and the inner part, medulla part or the median, that is whitish in nature because they are having the white matter. It is coordinating our muscular activities, whole activities that we are showing, the movement of hands as well as the eye contact with that, the whole things are controlled by our cerebellum part. Next one we are going to discuss about the medulla part, medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is located at the base of the skull. So that is the location of the medulla oblongata. It is present at the base of the skull. Its main function to control the activities of the internal organs, means for example peristalsis movement as well as the alimentary canal, movement of breathing. Means in short we can say that it is responsible to control our involuntary activities. So medulla is totally concerned with controlling the involuntary activities of our body that are not working according to our will, as well as it is responsible to control the our internal organ activities too, as well as the movement of the food. When it is entering to the food pipe, peristalsis movement occur, and by that way the food is entering from the mouth to the stomach part. So heartbeat too, it is able to control all these activities. Next one is there, the three primary regions of the brain. So in the next video we will discuss about the three primary regions of the brain. So this was all about this video. In this video we had discussed about the parts of the brain as well as the coverings of the brain. Hope you understood. Thank you very much.